Satnam, aloha, welcome to the live stream. I'm just checking it out to see if it's actually working. Okay. Okay, let me see here. And someone. Why it's doing that. Okay. So this is the chart for this week. And you can see, why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Okay, there we go. So you can see that the sun, you see the little circle with the dot in the middle. It's been in the 29th shadow, gene key. So that's the shadow of half-heartedness, and it's the gift of commitment, and it's the city of devotion. So this shadow makes us question our life path. All right? And it also makes us postpone committing to our path. So I'm going to get back up here. It's doing some wonky stuff. Okay. Lock that. Okay. Okay, Satnam everybody. Okay. So like I said, right, it's been in the 29th shadow all week of half-heartedness, the gift of commitment, and the city of devotion. So this shadow makes us question our life path, and it makes us postpone. So remember that with shadow work, there's no other person. There's only an outer person. There's no other person outside of you. There's only an outer you. So if someone is questioning your life path, right, it only means that they're reflecting what's going on inside you. So in human design, there's something called the channel of discovery, right? So the 29 meets with the 46. I'll just take that the screen back again. Right there. Okay. There we go. So you see, right, down here there's the 46 and the 29. So the 29 is what the sun is in, but it's also connected to the channel, right? So these two make a channel. So they're not defined, but it's an influence, and you'll see why, okay? So this is called the channel of discovery, and this channel rules our human experiences. You know, we're spiritual beings. We're here to have human experiences. So if you have this channel yourself, remember you can get your free chart at jovianarchive.com. If you've got this channel, you're going to really relate to it, or if you have one of them, the 46 or the 29. So this is about, you know, letting go of all expectations of your journey, right, of this experience, because we're having human experiences. So they can go from a couple minutes into 7 years, 7-year cycles. So you never know, you can't understand why you're in the experience until it's over, right? So it's about surrendering and immersing yourself in the experience, and then letting go of trying to understand why this is happening. Right? And then you've got the discovery at the end. The full meaning comes at the end. And you may have experienced this yourself, even if you don't have this channel. Like, oh, that's why I was in that relationship, or that's why I was in that job, right? 10 years ago, right? As things start making sense, the puzzle pieces start coming together. So this is really about trusting that you're in the right place at the right time, right? And then you, at the end, you'll make your discovery. So let's go deeper into the shadow of half-heartedness, this 29 that we've been in all week. We've got a little bit more to go with it. So this shadow, right, it has a mental image of what your life should look like, right? What your life should look like. And when it doesn't match up with your life, then the doubt comes in, right? So the mental image could be, I should be making this amount of money by now, and I should have a family by now, I should have a partner by now, I should have my roots should be settled by now, right? I should have this kind of recognition by now. And then when your life doesn't match up with the image, then you start questioning, right? The shadow makes you question your life path. It makes you question the choices that you've made, right? And then you want to quit, right? So you want to quit. The other thing, okay, I want to talk about success first. So because this is all about success, right? So where do these mental images of success come from? Well, the status quo, right? The status quo defines success for us. And there's that great old story of the rich millionaire, I want to call him a billionaire now, right? Is that visits a small coastal town in Mexico, and he sees a fisherman who's catching a few fish, and he sees them, sees him sell them at the market for not much money, right? So the rich man says, you could be happier and make more money. So the businessman says, you should buy more boats, hire people, catch more fish, sell to a bigger market, and make lots and lots of money, right? And eventually sell more and more. And the fisherman asks, well, why would I do that, right? So the businessman says, so you can eventually retire, and then you do what you want whenever you want. And the fisherman says, well, I have that now, right? So that's a version of success, right, that's been imposed upon us by the status quo. So you have to find your own definition of success, right? Not what the world is telling you, or what your parents have told you, or your teachers have told you, or your friends have told you, but your personal definition of success, what it means to you. And also I want to say, a lot of people right now are late bloomers. And I think the people that watch me and are attracted to this content are going to get this, because this is how the shadow can work. It's like, oh, I missed the boat, right? I'm too old. I'm not educated enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm lacking, basically, right? And what's happening now is the greater power that you have inside you, it's the longest to gestate. Like, look at a sunflower seed compared to an oak tree, right? Sunflower seed, boom, within a month, it's in its full potential. But an oak tree takes a long, 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 long time. So that's what I want to convey to you, is that you can't be using this mental image of what success is, right? And then comparing yourself, right, to others in the status quo, because you're a late bloomer. This is all about the Aquarian Age, and now it's going to be your time to shine. So that's a message that I feel really called to convey today to you. So to explore this shadow, really uncover what your mental image is. It may be buried a little deep. Maybe you think, no, I don't have that. But if you really explore and go deeper with it, like really explore, what is this mental image that I'm trying to live up to? And chances are it's not yours, right? You've inherited from your family, your ancestry, or the status quo. Because we're so terrified of going against the status quo, right? Doing things differently, right? This is in our DNA, because it means we're walking away from the tribe. So let's go to the title. The title of this live stream, this video, is when to stick it out and when to walk away. Have you ever had that question? That doubt? Like, should I be sticking this out or should I walk away? And personally, I know this gene key very, very well. It's in my purpose position in my chart, right? So I've been tested over and over and over again with this. And sometimes, sometimes I have to be honest. I think I'm either the most stubborn person in the world or the most committed person in the world when it comes to the work that I choose to do. And many times I've just wanted to walk away. Honestly, I just wanted to walk away. There's been dark nights of the soul. It's like, I'm done with this. I'm just going to walk away. But there's something inside me that won't let me quit. And I feel like it's my soul. Like, it's just, I can't quit. It's not coming from my mind. It's coming from my soul. So this shadow can express itself as a stubbornness, right, which is clinging on to something that has no energy, right? It's dying or it's dead. You can feel it. That cycle of experience is over for you, right? But that shadow wants you to cling to it. So it could be a relationship, it could be a job or a place to live, or the other side of the shadow is you give up too soon, right? At the sign of trouble. Right? I'm going to just give it up. I'm done with it. Both are the shadow. So the shadow pipes up and says, you made a mistake. You're on the wrong path. You made the wrong decisions, right? You got to backtrack. You got to quit. You got to start something new. So how do you know the difference? When to stick it out and when to walk away. And really, this is a question of, it's the difference between meeting resistance and meeting an obstacle. So it's the difference between I'm meeting resistance or I'm meeting an obstacle. And these are two different things. So when you meet resistance, right, you meet resistance, it's going against the universal flow of the universe. That's what resistance is. And who's going to win in that competition? Not you, not little you. The universal flow of the universe is going to win. So that's the stubbornness, right? I'm going to use my willpower. I'm going to exhaust the prana from my body. I'm going to exhaust the prana from my cells so I get sick. I'm going to deplete all my resources to make this happen, God damn it, right? So it's not easy, right? It's a struggle. It's a strain. And you feel like there's no support for you at all, right? That's another big sign. So, right, like from the divine, because sometimes, which I'll explain in the next one, meeting an obstacle, sometimes the people aren't there, right? That we have to stand as one for a while, but still we're supported by the divine always. So right here, you could be avoiding your right path, right, in this stubbornness, avoiding your right path where you're supposed to be. And it's usually a distraction from your true purpose. So doing someone else's job, basically. And I've learned just because you have the idea, it doesn't mean that you have to execute it, right? It's somebody else's destiny to do it, not yours. So that's where we can get trapped in this stubbornness, right? We're doing somebody else's job, somebody else's destiny. Okay, so that's meeting resistance. So when you meet an obstacle, it's much different. So there's a universal law that says in every new endeavor, there's always difficulty at the beginning. Always difficulty at the beginning. And this calls upon the gift of commitment. Right? So commitment is to align yourself with divine will, right? So meeting resistance, in the other example, you're using your little personal will, which completely depletes you. So commitment is to move through an obstacle, right? When you use the gift of commitment, when you're just moving through an obstacle, it actually strengthens you, right? It's come to test you. It's come to test your commitment. because we need that sometimes. We need that obstacle so that our commitment and our strength can be drawn out of us, you know? So what are you committed to, right? The mental image in your head? No, you can't be, right? It's not real. It's just an illusion. You're committed to the present moment. That's where all the energy is, in this present moment. So committing to something in the future, it's impossible. And you think of wedding vows, like when I really think of wedding vows, how impossible that is, right? I promise to honor, obey, yada, yada, right? You don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? You have no idea what's going to happen in the future. So how can you commit to a future, right? It's still an illusion. It's yet to unfold. All you can do is commit to the present moment. So maybe in the Aquarian Age, we're going to have different kinds of vows, right? Who knows? So commitment is to say yes to life. It's to say yes to this experience. I'm here now. I'm committed to the present moment. I'm committed to this experience that's unfolding in front of me. And it could be a relationship. It could be a new job. It could be a new place to live, right? It's according to your destiny. And for commitment, the gift of commitment is to say, bring it on, right? Bring it on. I can handle anything that life throws at me because I'm aligned with the greater power. I'm aligned with universal power. I'm aligned with divine power. And I'll commit to the cycle of experience until there's no more energy left to commit to. So do you see? You're committing to the energy in the present moment. It's all about frequency of the Aquarian Age. So remember that one of the Aquarian Age sutras is there's a way through every block. There's a way through every block. So this is about meeting each block or obstacle with your commitment. And there's always a way as long as you commit. So I just want to remind people, like on the global stage, and you probably noticed this yourself, right? All of the institutions of the Piscean Age, they're breaking down. We're seeing it. We're seeing all the rot and the corruption. And we're seeing it for a reason. And I know it's upsetting. I get upset too sometimes. But it's a relief because it's the truth. Do you feel that in your cells? Like this is a relief because it's finally the truth is coming out. So it's time to let all of these old structures die and not cling to them, right? This is the shadow of half-heartedness. I'm going to cling to them, thinking that they're going to save us, right? This is the new normal. We have to get used to this new normal. Very creative time right now. But at the same time, we're seeing so much destruction. So you're committing, what else are you committing to? You're committing to your own inner authority, not to someone out there, right? Not to an authority figure or a teaching, even a teaching or a system, because it's impossible because we're changing so much, right? And honestly, with me, I mean, my commitment, yes, is the present moment, but it's definitely my sadhana practice, right? Like that's a definite commitment that I've stuck with for many, many years, right? So I would suggest that you do that too, whatever that is for you, your daily sadhana. So to give your power away to the status quo right now is very dangerous because it's crumbling, right? It's crumbling. Why would you commit to something that's crumbling? It's dying, right? It's in its death throes right now. It's clinging to stay alive, but it's not going to live. So I've been talking about this year a lot, about the uncovering of all the abuses done to children, right? And last year it was all about the women, and this year it's all about the children. And we're seeing it now, right, out in the world, with the migrant camps, the Epstein pedophilia ring. There's so much more going to come from that. Now the Boy Scouts organization is under fire. I just read about that. Next will be the Catholic Church, right? All these institutions, all the lies and the deceit are going to come up. So we need to see these collective shadows, that's so that they can be transmuted into the light. So it's really important that you don't go into despair and think, oh, this is the way the world is going and it's forever going to be that. This is the healing process. So I just watched an interview with an expert, on how predators choose their prey. And they go for boys and girls who are rule followers. They go for the boys and girls who are rule followers. They're the weakest and they're the easiest to groom. So I'm not blaming children at all, right? If I blame anything, it's our system. It's our sick system. And we have been conditioned from day one not to question authority, especially as children. And certainly not to question our teachers, our priests, our nuns, the police, the government officials, Boy and Girl Scout leaders, right? Anyone in a position of authority over us. So imagine just for a moment, that as children we were taught to trust our own innate inner guidance, that we were taught about our intuition. That's what they taught us in church, right? They taught us about our intuition. They taught us that in school, right? They taught us that our intuition is what protects us from harm, right? Taught to obey our soul and not a person. What a different world we would have right now, wouldn't we, if we were taught that as children? So this is the gift of commitment, is to trust in our own inner guidance, right? Holding nothing back of ourselves, right? Throwing our whole self into it. Knowing that the future will take care of itself, right? Standing by your commitments, right? And saying yes to life. And thereby you attract luck when you say yes to life. And not worrying about what other people expect from you, right? Standing behind your decisions that you make. So how do I know, right? It's in your body. The yes is in your body. Your body will always show you where the commitment is, and it's always in the present moment. So some questions to ask yourself, and maybe you can write down some answers in the comment section, is where in your life are you clinging to something that's dead? Just listen to your intuition. Where am I clinging to something that's dying or dead? What needs to come to an end, right? What chapter is coming to an end? And where do you feel like a slave, or you feel like you're being taken advantage of, right? Or where are you lacking commitment in your life, right? Where do you not keep your word that you're making to yourself, that you know that you need to commit to? We all know this, right? It's like, oh, I need to commit to this, I need to commit to that, and then you don't follow through. So how can you more deeply commit to the needs of your soul, right? The soul needs to be nourished. So how can you, right, more deeply commit? And I'll give you a hot tip, right? Sadness is definitely one of those things, but there's other things like time to yourself, time in nature, time with your pet, time with good friends that uplift you, whatever that is, reading in solitude. You'll know what your soul needs, where you feel recharged. Being by the ocean, that's a big one too for me. So if you could put your answers there. I'm just going to see what people are writing so I can reflect back. Thank you, Annapolis Sisterhood Circle. Yeah, it's a validation, isn't it? A reflection. In Los Angeles. Yeah, Sabrina Webb, definitely a late bloomer and comfortable in that experience. Love the oak tree analogy. Lots of levels, very telling. Mahalo. We're not walking away, right? Thank you. Yeah, the marriage vows. Because think of it too, Gretchen, like back in the day when we'd make these marriage vows, till death do us part, death do us part used to be like 35 years old. It wasn't such a big deal to make that kind of commitment, right? But we're living longer and we're coming together. I mean, in conscious marriage is about uplifting one another, right? And consciousness for the Aquarian Age, this new Aquarian Age relationship. So it is. And it has to be between the couple. That's what I feel. Those vows have to be made between the couple. Religion has no right to get in there. Yeah, that's good. Annapolis says, had awareness this week of struggling with what's next on my path and then realized I just need to be in the present and trust. I mean, just look at nature, right? Nature has its own timing and its own rhythms. So it's about trusting that. And you know what? I should have grabbed that meme. One of the memes that I love are the bunny rabbits. You may have seen it with the carrots. So one bunny rabbit's got a carrot and it's got like a little inch of green. And he's really disappointed. And the other bunny's got the huge green above the ground. And he's like success and feeling great about himself. But underneath you can see the soil. The bunny with the little green has the huge carrot that he can't see. And then the other bunny with the huge green has the tiny little carrot. So this is the thing, right? We don't know and we can't see what's going on underneath, right? In the invisible realm. So life will always let you know where you're to go next. But we have to be patient. Yeah. Rebecca says, I've been clinging to a relationship for the children. I thought I would sacrifice myself for them. It didn't work. No. That's one of the worst things that you can, I mean, a lot of people do it, right? I'm going to just stay for the children, but the children can feel it. One of the worst things that a child can experience is a parent not going for their destiny, right? Not walking their path. So good for you to learn, right? You learned that one. Okay. Okay, great. So just close your eyes, okay? You don't need to figure all this out with your head. It's just like to close your eyes and you ask your question. Hold your breath. This Yogi Bhajan says this, like ask your question. Hold your breath for 9 seconds and then the answer. Something will come and may not just be the words. It will be an image or a sense or an impression. Okay? Okay. Well, thank you for joining me. And if you're interested in learning more about your unique contribution to this new paradigm, this new Aquarian paradigm, then check out one of my one-on-one shadow astrology readings. And for me, I'm going to spend some time on my website because that's my biggest challenge, is to actually communicate what I do. But I'm committing to that. And what I'm here to do is I'm here to help people easily transition through great change by unlocking their uniqueness. And so this is so true because the people that I attract are usually coming to an end in one of the chapters of their life and they're about to embark. So they're in this in-between place and needing direction. So what I can do with shadow astrology readings is like, here's all your gifts, right, according to your chart. And there's your shadows, the pitfalls, but here's all even more divine gifts for you. Anyway, I'm gonna spend some time writing it on the website, and also I'm launching a new prosperity program in September, so I'll let you know more about that. Okay, so have a great day or evening wherever you are, and really meditate on these questions. Okay, because you can harness this energy that we're in right now. Okay. Sat Nam Aloha.